This is the 91st minute.
Scott McTomminay scored twice in injury time as Manchester United beat Brentford 2-1 to breathe some life into their Premier League season. United sit currently, I believe, 10th place in the Premier League after a pretty poor start, 2 consecutive European campaign defeats. Also, we've come into this last weekend's game on the back of 4 losses in 5 home games. So heading into the international break, this is a pretty crucial win. Cultured, how relieved are you that we got the win?
Yeah, I'm very relieved. It was a pretty rubbish game. To be honest,
game.
It was a horrible game to watch, to be a fan of one of the teams. I can't imagine Brentford fans have come away definitely not coming away from it thinking it was a good game. But very relieved. It needs to be the turning point. It's been said numerous times on numerous medias and stuff like that. But it needs to be the turning point. It needs to be the focus. And I think it's going to show to Ten Hag that not always picking your best quality players is key. I think you do need a bit of, a bit of passion from the boys. That's what you need to see. People that run and do the passion and have that love of the club in there. I think you do need that. But it was the first time we've ever come from a losing position after the 90th minute and won, which is really strange. So
yeah.
in the league, and which is really odd because I thought we've done it quite a few times, but we haven't. We've always scored before the 90th to equalise and then won it after the 90th minute.
And it also wasn't like 15 minutes of extra time. It was only 4 minutes of extra time too, right? So
yeah.
I'm sure a lot of those records will be broken as we get 15 minutes of extra time or whatever. But
yeah. But I think it was an interesting game. I touched on the Arsenal Man City game saying it was a good tactical battle. I don't think this was. I don't think this was a tactical battle. It was just a battle of attrition. It was a war of attrition. It was who could not be the worst for the longest. I think there was a lot of errors from United. There was quite a number of errors from the Brentford players. It was just to not lose the game was massive. To win it was incredible. Like going into the 89th, 90th minute, 1-0 down to Brentford when you've just lost 4 in a row at home, or this would have made it 4 in a row losses at home for the first time to whenever. Brentford had never beaten United since 1919 or something. Like all of these stats and figures were coming out, and it was just like to not lose that game was big, then to win it was absolutely massive. And I think I was one of the people that was like, I would like to see McTominay gone in the summer, and I still stick by that. I don't think he's Man United quality, but he did show that he has heart and he loves the club, and he will come on and do everything he can to do his best for the club, which is, you need players like that. You do need players like that. And
I'll just comment on kind of what you mentioned. One thing you said that I liked was we don't need all of our stars playing, right? And I think that's a big thing. This weekend, Zlatan spoke to Piers Morgan, right? And he brought up some points about Ten Hag, talking about, Ten Hag coached at Ajax. He didn't have to deal with big egos, didn't have to deal with big stars. And it kind of speaks to what you said about, sometimes you don't have to play your best players or your star quality players in order to get results. And I think that's what you get with Garnacho, at least now. His ego hasn't inflated to the point where he thinks he's Ronaldo, like our number 10. But he still works his socks off on the wings. He plays a specific role that Ten Hag wants from him. He's not doing whatever he wants like Mr. Rashford. So when Rashford came off, and by the way, Casemiro came off at halftime. And Ten Hag very bluntly said, we wanted to play more football, right? Those are the words he said. But he went on to say, I wanted more passing, possession, et cetera, with Eriksen. So, you mentioned we don't need the stars on it. That's the exact points I had written down was without Casemiro, without Rashford, these 2 guys who last year basically carried our team, literally. Casemiro carried us in midfield. Rashford carried us on the attacking front. So without these 2 in the team, I thought it was very impressive that we were able to. I mean, I don't think we played that much better to be fair. I thought we did play a little better, at least in midfield. Garnacho was still trying to get past his man on the wing, but pretty miraculous that we somehow got away with the win there. And I thought Amrabat did really well. Yeah, sorry. It sounds like you've recovered, so go ahead. If you want.
Is that better? Am I better? Am I back?
I think so. Much better
you seem
right
to
now.
be good.
We'll see how long it goes for. So I think Amrabat did well. I think it's what we wanted to see, right? Him in midfield and doing what he does. I think Mount had a decent game. I like Mason Mount. He works hard. He does what he's there to do. He wasn't bought to score goals I think he was bought to score some goals and get some assists, but he was there for his transitional play and winning the ball back high up the pitch. That's what he was bought for. I think our best performance or passage of performance was against I can't remember who it was, but Hannibal Mejbri came on. And he's not the best player that we've got at the club, but his dynamism and his work rate changed the game, and that's what I think we need a bit more of. And it's interesting. I need to go and watch this Zlatan interview because I've not seen it, so I'll go and see what he said. I just can't stand Piers Morgan, so it makes it tough.
He gets in there. He gets those hard to reach spots. There's a phrase that is, I mean, at least in my Twitter sphere, which is probably very biased to not so big. I'm not a massive Marcus Rashford fan at these days, as you guys know, post Lewis Hamilton picture. But there's a phrase that comes up in the Bruno Fernandes realm, which is kind of attached to this Rashford thing, which is called hand grenade football. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, because Bruno Fernandes is like this hand grenade. He just throws up hand grenades and tries to make things happen. He didn't have a great game, but it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to this more structured play style that Ten Hag wants, because Ten Hag's extremely structured. He wants things very specific, etc. But I mean, great for McTominay. I really liked some of the messages. By the way, Evans and Maguire are starting center back pairing, which it's pretty crazy to think. Some of the messages Maguire posted was about, because Sir Alex Ferguson's wife passed away this week, and Fergie time, blah blah blah. Shout out to the Ferguson family, all that. I thought it was a nice touch as well. But yeah, unbelievable. Going into international break with that is a really nice feeling, and I'm almost glad there's not a game midweek. Just let us have this time. Let us have this time.
It's an odd one, isn't it? Because the momentum could be huge as well, coming off a win like that, to go to the next game straight away. But we've proven that's not always the case. Take the break, let's take stock and get some confidence at training and things like that, and see how we go. So I mean, Milo, what do you think of it did you see it? I mean, I hope you didn't, because it was pretty rubbish until the last 5 minutes.
I watched the highlights of this one. 30
second clip, was it? McTominay scoring and celebrating twice?
No, it was 3 minutes.
Okay.
3 minutes. So
it's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure a big 3 points for you guys. I mean, I was like, excuse me, I was thinking that it's interesting just from the socials that I see, which are probably more varied, maybe, or more Arsenal heavy, I guess, when you think about it that way. But maybe we all follow the same neutral accounts. In which case, I just noticed that the Ten Hag questions, sort of instantly disappear. It's classic. I've seen it happen with my team and with different managers. I still think, that's not the performance you want, but the result is all that matters. I say it all the time. Like, I don't think my team has put in amazing performances this season, and we've still got enough points to sit at the top of the table. So it's the result is what matters. One and all, that's what matters the most. And
I do think, on Cart's point of the international break, I do think for Ten Hag, this is a very good international break, because he goes into it with the win, and like you're saying, the pressure's off. All of a sudden, he's not under this one more loss and he's going to get sacked, which I think is nonsense anyway. There's talks of him getting a new contract, so but it's from that point of view, I think it's a good one. But it was just a really shit game. Generally, it was a shit game until the last 5 minutes. So, yeah.
It's got to be worrying though that Scott McTomminay is your hero. Do you know what I mean?
I could agree, but
that's the only thing I'd remotely question. And it's the same with, like you said, you have Evans and Maguire, you're starting centre backs, obviously not by choice. All teams deal with it. I do, so I have limited sympathy as far as injuries go. We had Saliba out last year and we had to deal with it. So and it is costly. So
what's interesting, right? Yeah. If you look at the Man United fan base, all wanting Harry Maguire to be sold or to go on loan, no one wanted us to sign Johnny Evans permanently. If we hadn't have signed Johnny Evans and got rid of Harry Maguire and had these injuries, what the hell are we going to do?
Yeah, we would have put some super young players, and it could have been scary.
I don't think he would. I think he would have put Casemiro and Amrabat at centre back.
I want to say that. Well, maybe we'll talk about it later, but Real Madrid played Tchouaméni at center back this weekend, and I think Casemiro could play that center back role for us.
Yeah.
With his slowly deteriorating physical. But I do want to say I thought Evans and Maguire played very well. I mean, there was one situation where Evans did a kind of a weak clearance, and it led to a chance for Brentford. But I thought Onana was kind of at fault for the goal. Also, Casemiro, he did lose possession he lost possession on the goal, but Onana's, you got to save it. You got to save it. You got to save it. I understand that Casemiro did make the initial mistake, but I think Onana's got to save that. So, it is what it is. Milo strikes again with the Onana prediction. He's going to have some howlers, but
he's definitely. I told you he reminded me of other eccentric keepers, and they do. Eccentric keepers cost you some stuff. You just have to hope.
And you can tell his confidence is completely shot. He's not sweeping up. And I was chatting to a friend of mine actually in the UK, and he was like, it looks like ever since he got lobbed in pre-season, that completely ruined his confidence. He's not come off his line. He's not sweeping up. He's not playing long balls like he did in pre-season. It's really strange.
But he also has a history. I don't want to. I'm not going to post a link or anything, but I have seen a compilation video of Onana.
Being horrendous, being terrible. So, it just happens, right? These things happen. You got to trust that he's going to perform and make it right.
Yeah,
I think the team ahead of him is more of an issue than him.
Which is what we said about De Gea as well. Me and Carl said the same about De Gea.
You did, for sure. And I think... had you sold Maguire, I think you would have been more active for a centre-back, right, in the summer. Yeah. I assume, given how this season's gone, that centre-back is going to be priority number one for January / next summer. You would think.
Had we played City this weekend, it would have been interesting to see the team selected. Like, would we have played Maguire and Evans against City or Arsenal or somebody? I think, playing teams, not trying to be too disparaging to Brentford, but, mid-table teams to lower-table teams, you would expect Maguire to be able to perform in those games, and maybe Evans as well.
He won a Premier League playing very well.
That's true. Yeah, and Maguire played well, by the way. He played very well.
Yeah, he did. He did play well.
Yeah, he played very well. So it's I don't know. It's a little tricky there, but I thought it was good to get a win and get out.
Who at centre back would have been available in the summer? Obviously, Tottenham got Van de Ven, which looks like a
Kim Min-jae was the big name linked to us,
right?
Yeah, Kim Min-jae was the one, and it was apparently very far down the road, and then Bayern Munich came in and
also Disasi.
Well, title Disasi,
who went to Chelsea was linked to us as well. There was, I believe, Jean Todibo, young guy from
Todibo, Pau Torres early on in the summer was linked, but I think that was. I don't think ever that was serious with Pau Torres, but there was a few linked. But I think you're right. I think we were dependent on Maguire going and then reinvesting that money and his wages into whoever we bought in, and it didn't happen. So
now the name is I saw three names. There was Gonzalo Ignacio some Silva guy. I can't remember his first name. And
from Benfica, Antonio Silva.
Yeah, and then there was one more I can't remember. But yeah, we're linked to center backs this week as well. So January might be interesting. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? But yeah, with Maguire on that contract, on that wage, I don't think he wants to move at the moment.
No.
The tough thing about buying defenders in January is, you know, a team with a good defense isn't really looking to let them leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more of for a starting centre back, it's probably a summer thing, and then anything in between is more likely to be filler or depth.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you never know.
I could see a
Speaking of
loan
filler.
potentially in the January for an underperforming centre back somewhere else, and we give him a go.
Have you guys seen a lady with crazy lip filler in real life?
Yes. It's horrendous.
It's pretty weird, huh? It's got to be some. I don't know why we're talking about this. You said filler.
Yeah, Cultured, when you edit this segment, just cut that out.
Yeah, okay.
Put a Snapchat filter on it so we all have poofy lips, you know?
Yeah. Subscribe to the 91st Minute here on YouTube and use the links in the description to follow us on all social media platforms.